from your experience then, with Botswana, with Ghana and other many other countries, I just wondered whether there was some kind of consensus on what can be done to avoid the negative effects of foreign interventions. We've heard a lot of the Buy Africa, for Africa approach, and I just wondered how we need to strike a balance between activities such as energy production, mining and tourism, which is, at least two of which, mining, diamond mining here and ecotourism here in Botswana, are both very, very important pillars.
Indeed, it's important, and that's something where a lot of actors in natural resource management come in, where we say try to use these revenues not just for development of your education or for health. No, look at it in terms of economic diversification. These are resources, once you've taken everything out of the ground, they're depletable, and there will be nothing left of that. So economic diversification, I think, is very important. As European but also American interests come in,
yes,
and donors come in, I think we're trying to set ourselves apart in a different league from some of the interests that we see from, for instance, China.
Yeah.
And I think it's important that we're getting more and more developed and stable democracies in Africa that actually say, okay, these are the rules under which you would be playing here.
Yeah.
This is where you're coming in. For instance, in the case of the Parliament of Zambia, where they said, okay, these are our minimum standards in terms of labor.
Yes.
These are our labor rights, and you're not respecting this. So I think that's important.
But on the subject of China, are we seeing a slight change of tack now from China in terms of the extractive industry? Maybe not, sort of shipping over wholesale the labour, for example, but in consultation with country governments here in Africa, there are actually more and more national jobs and local jobs available for Africa's inhabitants.
It's hard to say if there's a change. That might be a slow change. What we see is that there's still a lot of illegal Chinese mining going on, for instance, in the north of Ghana, where licensed operators are facing real difficulties from them. It's correct that a lot of labor came in, Chinese labor, but a lot of that is also on different contracts. It's around infrastructure, for instance, in Liberia there was a huge workforce. Unfortunately, and that's something that a lot of research-rich countries have to realize, is that there's not a lot of jobs are being created by extractive industries, and the jobs that are created are highly skilled, which is something, for instance, they are realizing in Ghana. Specific welders have been trained, but it's very hard, and those jobs are not always for the long term either.
So in terms of capacity building there, it's more about creating sustainable local jobs with an industry that's going to be around for some time.
Indeed, yes.